No, not this time. Hello, not this time. That's a good entrance, isn't it? Not
That's
this
our
time.
entrance, guys. No entrance. So that's what we're talking about right now before it went
Yeah.
live. But how you guys doing? This is Nerd Talk from the other side of the world with with
Oh, me.
with
Right, right.
yes,
P.G.M. Yeah,
and
me.
JJ here.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a little
I'm
bit
leaving.
asleep, guys.
I'm leaving it. I'm leaving the introduction to JJ this time.
No, it's okay. I just
It's right. Um. Yes. Hello. Oops.
oh
That was me. I didn't turn down my bloody.
hello.
Um. Hello and welcome. Yes, JJ's right. This is me doing this. I can't see you.
He doesn't need to do
And
this. He just puts the hair down in here.
so, how's your all day? Goodly is rhyme. See, um, we nerd talk from the other side of the world. If you don't know me by now, well, yeah, I can't help you with that. Or if you don't know JJ, he can't help you with that either, probably. But we talk about anything under the sun. Well, not the kitchen sinks or anything like that, but we just talk about nerdy things that we love and enjoy, like movies, TV, and
TV
what
shows,
else? Jay? What else, Jay?
games, boys, whatever, pop culture stuff.
Pop culture stuff. That's right. But we're here to talk about this week. We all love a speculative conversation, don't we? Either on anything else. And JJ and I got talking to with each other last week about not on air, of course, or stream. Last of Us, and Last of Us Part Two, speculative. Um, uh, how they're going to go, and
And
what's
we're
going to
talking
be.
about the show, guys. Let's
Yeah,
just put it
sure.
into
Yeah,
perspective.
yeah.
We're gonna talk about the show, how it's leading up to season two, and what we're looking to see what'll happen in season two, which is are they going like the way they're going in the video game? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we're basically talking about mainly the show, but also the game itself, because a lot of Last of Us Two was going through almost verbatim with the game, except for one or two scenes and storylines.
Mhm.
So that was really, really good. So I think that's why people um, liked it, because it was mirroring the game a
Yeah.
lot, uh, and yeah,
Which, of course, HBO or well, of course, Max is HBO. Of course, they like to do that with their shows in the first season. A good example is Game of Thrones. They were following it by the book, and then all of a
yeah,
sudden they went off a different route. So this is one of the things that we're discussing about, and we're thinking, or I was thinking that it's gonna go another way for second season until we'll see something happen in the third season. Maybe at the end, very, very, very end of second season, or beginning of third season if there is one. And
yeah,
I think I'm not sure if PG agreed with me on this one. I don't think he did, but it's okay. I mean that's okay. That's the matter of what we have as opinions. But then I started discussing with him about how HBO does that, and then he started thinking, "You're probably right," because I told him, "I'm not saying he's not okay." Spoilers, I guess. Spoilers. In the game, we see Joe get killed. Okay, so I told him I don't think that's gonna happen in the second season. If it is possible, maybe 5% chance that he'll die at the very end, and I'm giving a percentage, my opinion, my percentage, no statistics out there, and that it will happen in the third season that we're gonna see, and this is where PG came up with saying, you know what? More than likely, you may be right, JJ. If it goes that way, that this season might be more of the dialogue or the story of Abby building that up to build with Ellie, and then eventually we see Joel fly off into the sunset, either at the end of the of season 2 or at the end or at the beginning of season 3.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, well, either um, Neil Druckmann and
Mm-hmm.
the director. Oh God, name escapes me at the moment, but uh, will I think JJ, I think they to actually give a little bit of a backstory. If you haven't played the game, season one of Last of Us was could say a breakthrough for me because I love the game and it really again mirrored the game itself. So in some circumstances, it was changed with Frank and Bill's story, which just broke the mold really for their arc. Right, it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't actually told as it was in Last of Us with Bill's story because, as you know, if you played the game, Bill, yes, there was a guy called Frank, and he did actually say yes, he was my partner, but really Frank wasn't in the picture, but Bill was in the picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, and Bill had to get Joel and Ellie to one place to another place to actually get a car to escape. That was the main aim because uh, uh, and Frank was again spoiler alert if you haven't played the game. Frank was found dead, hung in a house, right? And the story that went with Frank at this point was that Frank was going to leave Bill, right? At this point, Frank wrote a letter saying that if you, Bill, right, I'm out of here. I don't want to see you again. That was the storyline for the game. Okay. It wasn't any influence on homosexuality. It wasn't any influence on that at all, right? Okay. It was nothing. Okay. But now we see the TV series, right? And it mirrored something else. It didn't mirror that, it mirrored something else. Yes, we got the introduction of Frank and Bill, and Bill being Bill out of the game, but we also saw Frank more centralized in Bill's makeup of life in The Last of Us, and that was beautiful telling of the story, right? Of how Bill met Frank, and Frank met Bill, right? And they grew a good partnership and friendship, and then became uh, lovers, right? Right, and in this kind of horrible world that we're living in, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
and here's Ellie and Joel. Sorry, Ellie and Joel trying to get to Bill, right? Okay, they were
Mm-hmm.
trying to get to Bill, but they were really far away from where Bill was, right? But they told the story within that as well, where Joel and Tess knew Bill and Frank. So if you haven't watched the series on Max now, go and watch it because it relies on yes, Bill and Frank living together, having a life together, and where they were, but also Bill knowing Tess and not really, and of course, not liking Joel because Bill didn't like Joel in the game, right? So
Yep.
there was that little bit of uh, realization in the game and the series. But the thing is that, uh, but again, it changed. It changed with the with this because I don't think they could have actually interpreted the game story for the series for Bill, right? So they changed it right dramatically, and they changed it really well, and they told a very beautiful story on how Bill
Mm-hmm.
and and Frank uh, lived their life, and and then and Frank died, right, and but there was again, have you seen it? They Bill succumbed to Bill's Frank's uh, asking of, please don't let me die like this, because he was dying. Frank was dying, right? So
Yeah, he
uh,
had kind of like an ALS,
yeah, so yeah,
um, kind
uh,
of disease, where the muscles were atrophying.
yeah.
It's called, in other terms, in the United States, they call it Lou Gehrig's disease, named after the baseball player who had ALS. Um, but yeah, so finishing off, what continuing on what
So
PGM was saying. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah. Sorry. The where was I getting at? I think for the changing of that story, and so being, again, I'm going to repeat myself, being groundbreaking and so beautifully told by Neil Druckmann, right? I think some of the scenes had to change through this HBO series or Max series, or probably, I mean, because it
HBO.
had to, right? And so, I mean, they changed Tess from her death, right? It was not by the soldiers in the game, or the police in the game, right? Right, but it was the infected, right? who
Mm-hmm.
who killed Tess in the series, which was really good too, because it actually did work, right? So there have been changes, but the thing is, it needed to be done, really, to actually continue the storyline, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the beauty of it is, that Neil Druckmann, and again, the guy, the director escapes my mind at the moment, have weaved this whole beautiful game story into a story that is told through the game but changed, right? That's if you played the game, it's like, yes, Ellie, Joel and Ellie, yes, I mean, reluctant as Joel was in the game, he's still reluctant and with Ellie at the moment, right? So I mean, this is cargo to him, right? This was cargo to Tess, right? There were,
Mm-hmm.
the whole storyline was that Ellie, as she, it was explained in the series, JJ, also, that Ashley Johnson played the mother of Ellie, which was just fucking sublime. I think awesome. It wasn't told in the game, but it was told beautifully, as Ashley Johnson was escaping from, I think it was infected or something like that. And she went
Mm-hmm.
into the house, right, and she had her baby, right, and it was Ellie, right. But the thing is, before, I
Ellie
think
was
it
born.
was before Ellie was born, Ashley Johnson's, who played the mother of Ellie, right, got bitten, right. So. Uh, but the thing is that with she getting bitten and then she's pregnant, right? Okay, with Ellie is immune, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's had this infection for 3 weeks. Okay, 3 weeks. Okay, and she hasn't changed into being affected. Okay, but everyone else has around her. So
Mm-hmm.
Marlene, who is a character in the game and in the series, right, takes the baby from the mother, right, and then raises Ellie, right. But
Yeah.
so that again, I'm going to say the beauty of it is with um, Ellie's totally oblivious to the world out there, right? In the game, she hasn't been outside of the walls. Okay, she was born inside, inside the walls. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but the game, she's not born inside the walls. She's born out in a house. Okay, so Marlene must have taken her back to where Joel was, right? And Joel was. The story is that Joel and a lot of the people who are still alive, the survivors, became in a really world that they were trying to, they picked up dead bodies and burnt them, okay, because they didn't
Yep.
want infected bodies around them, so they cleaned up the streets, right? But they had this police presence, right, to actually
Hmm.
man, so you could, it's like a big faction, but this was a police faction, and you had to get cards to get in anywhere, and you had food rations to actually, get food and buy and survive in that way. So, but the thing is, Marlene was the head of the Fireflies, right, in the game and in the series.
In the
That right,
series.
um, and then Tess wanted to. She's more of a gun runner with Joel, right? Because I haven't missed out the important bit, and I'm getting there, right? Because 20 years prior to that, right, before the outbreak, and right, so before the outbreak, Joel had a daughter, right, before that, and they were
And they were
living
living in Texas too, in Austin, Texas.
right. So, and the beauty of this part, all right, is that not what the beauty is, the sadness of this part, but it was real well told uh, um, by the game and by Pedro Pascal when he played Joel, that the outbreak began right
Hmm.
in the night. Okay, it was just full on outbreak of infected. So and then uh, Joel and Tommy and Sarah was the daughter of Joel. Okay, Tommy's the brother of Joel, right? So they escaped, right? Trying to escape, right, from the infected through the Texas streets. Okay, but the thing, and I'll skip to the wee bit of the end. Joel was running up this ridge, okay, this hill, right, and gets stopped by a soldier, not a police, not the FDA. I think it was the not FDA, but it was
Military. It was military. It was an army.
yeah, yeah, and then he got stopped, and Joel was carrying um, Sarah because he had a broken leg from the accident. And then the soldier is saying in the and he got the orders saying that nobody should pass, kind of thing, right? So they might be infected. So the outcome was that the soldier just shot at Joel, and Joel dove away. But the realization that when he dove away um, and the soldier was still alive. I think they mirrored this, didn't they, JJ? They mirrored this. If you remember, they mirrored this in the game and TV series that
Yeah,
um,
they did.
just before the soldier actually shot Joel dead. Right, Tommy came out and shot the soldier. Okay, I think
Hmm.
it's, and then when Joel saw Sarah right on the ground, gasping for because she was gonna die from the um,
The shotgun. Or
shotgun,
the gun, not the shotgun, the
the bullets,
the gunshot wound. There we go.
shot wounds, and it was just. I gotta say, every time I see this JJ, the scene, it always makes me cry. I'm such a nerd, but it just makes me cry because the
Hi,
acting
Linda.
was g'day, Linda. How are you going? It always makes me cry. It always makes me weep because it's so well acted, both in the game.
They
Uh,
feel like it was real. That's why they made it feel like
yeah.
it was real. Um, you
Uh,
know,
but g'day, Linda. But yeah. So and then going back. Sorry, JJ. I'm probably talking too much, but
go ahead. No,
and
no, don't worry, don't worry.
going back with Tess, uh, Tess and Joel are a bit of a gun runners, right? They're smugglers and stuff like that, and just to
Yep.
survive and get more money and stuff like that, because maybe they want to get out of where they are, right? And
They
then
did want to get out where they were from.
yeah,
That's what they
and
were trying to do.
to cut a long story short, the realization that Joel losing Tess, right, and Joel have to take this cargo, which she thought it was cargo, not a real person, Ellie, to where they needed to be. Okay,
Hmm.
and then growing uh, almost a second chance for Joel. Okay,
Yeah,
right.
they bonded.
to to be father, yeah, bonded, right? And now, getting into the discussion, maybe a little bit of an overlay of part one. I mean, yes, I mean you're right, JJ. You're right. I mean, how they will perceive in doing part two may be differences because of the scenes, right? They might have to
Yeah.
do the scene uh, um, differently, right? So,
Well,
um,
I mean, I think all second season we're gonna see Joel. I mean, that's my opinion. Um, Again, you've said some great examples of how it's been changed from the game to the series, and I feel that right now you have a lot of people that are big fans of Pedro Pascal, and a lot of the people that have not played or seen the scenes of the game um are gonna be the ones that are not gonna want to like see that it happens.
mm,
A lot of people that are into the game are probably like, okay, he's got, and it's like they said, you know, when you see it in the game, it's like you realize why he had to die. And in this case, it's kind of like, you don't see it yet of why he has to die, but you know, that's why I feel that um, it's gonna be to where we're not gonna see him go until. Um, Hi, Katie.
Katie,
How you doing?
hi.
Thank you for being here, both of y'all, Linda and Katie. So right now we're talking about The Last of Us, the show. We're talking about how season 2 is coming up and how things are going to be changing because a lot of things from season backtrack from what P.G.M said. He was saying different scenarios of what the game was compared to the TV show, which a few things were changed. And of course, now we're leading it into the future about spoilers in the game. We know that Joel dies, but in my opinion, I
Yeah,
don't see that
yeah.
that's going to happen in second season. It'll happen probably in third season. Again, I think that they're going to try to build up Abby and whatever other character there is to expand, just like how they did in Walking Dead with Negan. How they did it with the governor, they expanded his story, and I feel that that's what's going to happen with Abby's story, and then whoever else comes into the picture.
Yeah, I mean, you could be. I'm kind of, yeah, I'm kind of agreeing with that. I think they're just by looking at it, just speculating, well, by looking at it, Jojo, that they could actually. I mean, there were scenes, and there are scenes in the game that they could actually uh, just tell Ellie and Joel's story and how their relationship uh, was growing distant and apart because Ellie in the game realized that Joel was lying. Okay,
Hmm.
and Ellie found that out because she went back to the hospital in the game. Right when she was younger, I think she was 19, 20 at that point in the game. That she went back to the hospital where she was laid out on the table, right, where Joel picked her up and saved her, right? But
Hmm.
and then she found out the truth because Abby on the recorder saying, you know, this was the cure. Ellie was the cure, right? And
Yeah.
and and really, basically, when Ellie confronted Joel in the game, uh, could be the same thing that they're going to do in the scene, right? Uh, Ellie confronts Joel in the scene, saying that why did you lie to me? Just paraphrasing here, right? And Joel really reluctantly tells you were the cure, and there was no one else because Joel told Ellie in the car when he was driving back to Jackson in the game, said that there were more people like you, Ellie, right, out there. That was the
Hmm.
lie. Okay, so and all throughout the game, all right, they could actually thresh that out, JJ. You're right. They could actually thresh that out with Ellie and Joel being distant, and then and then have the or do it some way, have Joel's death, and then continue it for season three. So yeah, so
with what do you think with Abby and Ellie's
well,
storyline together or what?
yeah. I mean,
Because I feel
in the third
uh,
season, there, yeah, it could be Abby's story, right?
well,
So
like I tell you, I mean,
I don't
he's
know.
gonna
I don't know.
eventually die. He's gonna
Right.
eventually die, but I don't think it's in this season. And honestly, I think they're gonna add like another filler, like how they did with Bob and Frank, um, or Bill and Frank. That they're gonna probably do a filler with maybe. I think they're gonna do two fillers. One, I think they're gonna talk about a backstory of Abby. Okay, and I think they're gonna do it real good. And I think it's good that they're doing that. To keep the story going. And then two, I think they're gonna do another filler with what's her name? I forgot her name, but I guess you can say Joel's sister-in-law, the one that's with Joel's brother. You know, because she
Oh,
kind of seemed like she was a little bit important to the show at certain times. So it's kind of like, huh. So I think they're gonna that's what they're gonna do is put some like two fillers and continue pushing the story
well,
like that, and then
remember,
eventually.
yeah, remember they've got other characters like Yara as well, Yara
Hmm.
and Liv, right, which they have to actually incorporate in this season as well. So
Yeah.
I mean, you got a lot of guts in there to actually look at JJ as well. You've got Ali's story's still not yet finished, right? So up until a point, right, up until a point that you've got Ali trying to track down the people who murdered Joel outrightly.
Hmm.
So you've got that kind of, and then you've got Abby, right, who's looking for, or who's looking for her story arc, right? I mean,
Hmm.
to actually look at this whole thing, uh, it, I think it can be told speculatively in conjunction with everything like entwined, right? So, but told and also yeah, give Tommy's wife you know a storyline and a little bit of an
Hmm.
arc, but not I don't think too much, right? So Tommy wasn't in the series that much, right? So
No, that's why
the
I'm thinking
first
the filler's gonna be more about how they met.
so Jackson has got to come into it big time
Yeah.
in the second series, right? In the second
Hmm.
season, okay? Because Ellie is now grown up, um, right? A lot more, and her arc is now changed from meeting Dina as well
Hmm.
in this as well. So you've got that as well. So who knows? I mean, we're speculating here, so it's good to speculate. It's good to see what's going to happen, right? So, uh, uh, the weaving of storylines is going to be so apparent in the season two, you know. So, uh, uh, I think the big thing. I mean, we all know. Yes, Joel's going to die, right? I mean, if we
Yeah.
haven't
Well,
played the game or if
well,
we
we
haven't,
don't all know. Only the ones that have played the game or seen the
um,
scenes of the game.
yeah,
I mean,
I
because I
mean,
think a lot of people that are watching. Cause look, I'll be honest with you. I introduced my parents into Last of Us, and they got into it and they like it. I mean, and I had a feeling they were because they were into Walking Dead, but since this is totally different, and they said that this would be more like real life like because because of the that fungus, and they got into it, but they don't know anything of what's going on, and they love the way it ended and everything. They're like that's awesome the way he did, and we all see why he would lie to her because now he's caring for her like his very own, you
I
know?
mean, yeah, not forgetting. I'm going back again, but not forgetting. Melanie Linsky's storyline as well with Sam and Henry. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that played a big part in part one as well. So, I
Yeah.
mean, I've just talked about Frank and Bill's story, and Tessa's death was changed. So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to have to fit quite a lot in, right? And so it's definitely right, JJ. It's going to have to be season 3 to actually fit all this thing in. So
I mean, because I honestly, we're gonna see more origins. I think in this one, I think we're gonna see flashbacks and origins of people that we've never
yeah,
seen before in the game.
I
So I
mean,
think that's their way of keeping The Last of Us show going at least for another season, instead of just 2 seasons. It'll go maybe. And honestly, I think it should end at a third season, and that's it. Because I think if you just lead it on, I know that they say, "Oh, it's a universe, a possibility like Walking Dead," but we all
mm,
saw how the original Walking Dead kind of ended south when Rick left and all that stuff. And again, a good example. People did not know that Glenn was gonna die the way he died when he died like that in the comic in issue 100, and people got pissed and they're like, "No, they could have changed it up like they have been doing it, just to keep Glenn alive." And it's like, well, no, that's not the way it works. I mean, they could have, but they went that route just like the comic, and people just backed off from it. So I think that there are people like I say, I think the directors and Druckenmiller, are being careful of wanting to kill him off this season because, again, like I said, people know that things change. Again, you have the people that play the game that want to see that happen, but then you have the people that play the game, but they see the changes happening, and they can say, well, they can change the arc of Joe, the story of Joe.
yeah, don't be
And
shocked though. I'm with you on that, but don't be shocked. I'm just going to interrupt you. Don't be shocked, and I'm going to be don't be shocked if Neil Druckmann says to the director, "No, we've got to kill Joel now in this season, so we can actually get Abby and Ellie's arc."
but again, I'm not saying I'm shocked, but I don't think it'll happen because right now Joel's a favorite. You kill off the favorite, your ratings are gonna go down. That's all I'm saying. That part on the ratings, and I understand he needs to get killed off. I get it. I totally. I'm one of the ones that understands that. But in the perspective of what we've seen before in shows and what happens, you know, that if it happens, ratings are gonna go down. That we might not even get a third season. You know, I mean, it's just like I said, opinion. What from what I've seen from before. I mean, another good example, uh, Game of Thrones. Everybody stopped. The ratings started going down after the Red Wedding. People got pissed, this, and that, and then the ratings went down on it. So that's why I'm saying, like, I don't feel that they're gonna want to kill him off right away. They're gonna do fillers. They're gonna try to build other characters up, and then in the third season, they'll kill him off. And I feel that the time they're gonna kill him off is when Pedro Pascal himself says, "Okay, I'm done with this story. I want to go and do some other work."
No, I don't think he'll do that. Sorry, I disagree with that. So I
And that's
disagree.
okay. I mean, because that's the reason why hey,
Anyway,
hey, give me
thanks,
my
JJ. Thank you. Thanks very much for JJ.
jerk. Let me have my opinion. The reason I say that because look what he's doing with Mandalorian.
Yeah, but that's the Mandalorian, JJ. Come on, it's a
It doesn't
whole.
matter.
Um,
It's his story. He's doing a story with them, and he's already getting tired to where he doesn't want to do it anymore. So I feel that they're gonna try to crunch as much they can from him. Like I said, it's just my opinion. I'm not saying I'm right, but the way it's looking, he's gonna want to do other things, and they're gonna, to say, okay, let's kill you off.
I gotta say, I'm gonna. This is an offshoot. This is not anything to do with uh, what we're discussing right now. I'm just going to have a little bit of a rant here, JJ. Yeah, right.
Okay,
So
go ahead. Rant all you like.
one thing I didn't really get is that young Pedro Pascal. This is the one thing I didn't really didn't like was him getting killed in the
Hey
in the
Taylor, totally
Game of,
Taylor's Retro Hunters.
Game
How
of,
you
Game
doing,
of,
man?
Game of Thrones. Can I, mate? How are you, mate? Game of Thrones. He tragically got head crushed and eye gouged out of that series.
By the
Shocked me,
mountain.
right? And then when I was watching the big battle, JJ, of the Frost people, whatever, and I actually
The
got
White Walkers. Are you talking about the White Walkers?
White Walkers. I was getting pissed off. I was getting pissed off because I'm going too long. It's going on too long. Just get to the freaking point. Right? Just like, are you going to kill everyone in the whole freaking show? Get to a point where
AT3, how you doing, bro?
you save people for God's sake, or kill somebody. I just got annoyed. I'm sorry. I just got annoyed. Can I tell you three? Carlos. And that's my rant over with. Okay, so yeah, so anyway,
So your
yeah.
rant leads to what? What are you trying to say with coming with Last of Us over here on season 2?
What? Oh, I'm no. It's just a rant. It's just an offshoot rant.
Oh,
Rant.
offshoot rant. Okay,
So it's
gotcha.
getting back into the Last of Us. That's fine. Um, Someone made a YouTube video. I think it was 107 GOT storylines that went unresolved. So, okay, about Game of Thrones, I think. So, um, so
And well, let's
uh,
not forget Pedro Pascal also is gonna come into
Fantastic
the
Four. So,
MCU world, so we're gonna see where that coincides. Well, I mean, I think they finished productions with season 2 of Last of Us, didn't they?
yeah, yep.
Okay, so
Uh,
I think I mean, again,
uh,
I really feel he's not gonna die in this season. I think it'll be the third season.
okay. Yeah, it's going to come down to either going to come down to maybe only shot for and just one more season, and then they'll play it all the way through by weaving it out, or they'll just or they might just go down the route of season 3. Who knows? So the fact remains that you got to kill Joel off somewhere. It's either in season
Hmm.
2 or season 3. So um, the storylines, I'm going to say, JJ, I'm going to say that the storylines for part 2 are so involved with Ellie and Abby at this point in time.
Hmm.
You've got to fit Abby's crew in there as well with Owen
Oh
and
yeah,
Owen and everything else, and you've got to fit that storyline with Owen and the love triangle with God, I've forgotten her name. Slipped the mind. And then you've got to fit the crew in as well. You've got to fit Dina and Jesse in there as well, right?
yeah,
So uh, with that whole story arc. So um, was it?
yeah. You're right, Katie. The White Walkers, they look like they were gonna invade the wall in second season, I believe it was. We saw them by the wall, and then they never invaded until the seventh season, where they ended up getting Viserys, the dragon, and they destroyed the damn wall, and they finally got through. And I'm like, it took this long for them to, you know, fight. It was just weird. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I understand what you mean.
Mm. But it's but yeah, we was on at Last of Us. It's just different story arcs they've got to actually put in there, JJ. So I mean, it might have to go to season 3, to be quite honest with
Well,
you,
that's what I
because
feel that they would do. That's the only way to keep the story.
right,
I mean, because
regardless
Last of Us,
of Joel.
Last
So
of Us is something fresh because remember, they're throwing it out there like the way they did the storyline in 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 the show. They changed things around and they made it seem like they were doing it for people who've never even played the game, which
yeah,
was great.
the new people. Yeah, the getting new
Yeah,
people into it. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And I feel that that's the reason why they're not gonna wanna like again. I may be wrong. They might kill him in season 2, but it might be at the very end, and then they'll lead with season 3 with or without him. But I feel that it's gonna happen in season 3, or they're gonna do what they did with the whole Negan thing of like the eeny meeny miny mo. We don't know who he hit, who he killed until third season. So we might
Mm.
see something like that with Joe happen, where
Yeah.
we think we're gonna see that they did something, but we don't know if he did die or not. You know what I mean? And I
Gotta
really
be quite honest with you. The Walking Dead just went on too long. So many
well, it's already
seasons.
yeah,
So,
but I'm just giving an example of a part
I
that
know, I
happened.
know. Put my two
I
cents in
mean,
there.
that damn show should have just ended a long time ago when Rick was gone, and then they brought him back in another show or movie. That's
Mm.
ridiculous. Now they have a spin-off, and that's what I feel like they could do with Last of Us, which I don't know if they should, but that's their
No,
choice. I mean, I don't mean honestly, but again, like I said,
I
that's what
agree with you.
I
Yeah,
feel they'll do.
off. So,
You know, it just I think they're just gonna want to milk as much as they can,
I mean, they've got a lot to
and
choose from, JJ. So again, reiterating my point, they've got a lot to choose from in part
yeah,
two. So
and but I guarantee you, I have a feeling, I guarantee that the way they killed Joe off in the game is not gonna happen the way it's. I think that's gonna change. I don't know why. I
I,
think it's
well,
something that we want to expect,
I, I
and
don't
then
agree with you. I don't agree with you on that one. So I
that's
don't
fine.
agree with you.
And if I'm right, I'll
So
call you back on
oh
it.
yeah, no, yes, you will. You will call me back on when we go on live stream again. As I told you, the different way. I'm going. Well, I'll have my hat and I'll get my knife and fork and I'll eat the bloody
Well,
thing. So
you know why
um,
I only
yeah.
say that because I mean, look at Jesse, how she died. You know, Frank, look at how he died. What I feel is that they'll kill him off, and then they're gonna with a dead body of Joel, they'll do what they did in the game. But he was already
No,
dead.
well, Katie, I don't agree with you there either. So if you agree
That's
with
fine.
JJ, that's fine. That's fine. You can give it the office. I don't mind.
Again, an opinion that I'm just stating that it might not be real.
I know, I know. I'm only joking, Katie and JJ. So, right,
Yeah, totally agree. Well, who does she agree with? Totally agree. She
you.
said. Oh,
She,
she
she,
totally
she.
agrees with
Yeah,
me.
yeah. I totally
Well,
agree. So,
thank you.
yeah.
Well, she might agree with you too, saying that you don't agree with me. But I mean,
Probably. Katie, you're gonna have to explain. You, who
it's
do you
just
agree with?
I just feel that HBO does that. I mean, look at the whole thing with Jon Snow in Game of Thrones. Wasn't supposed to be back. Brianna Tarr, she was the one that was supposed to get killed. If anybody that should have came back alive was the Rob Stark's mom. She's the one that comes back to life in the book, and she just gets her throat slit and gone. So that's what I'm saying is like they're gonna probably change crap up. That's HBO for you.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a romp anyway. It's gonna be bloody good, I think. Part two, I must say, it's gonna be a bloody good series. Or I tell you, to be quite honest with you, no matter what happens, if you're wrong, JJ, you can eat your hat. If I'm wrong, um, I'll attempt to eat my hat. Okay, so,
I'll
but
eat my hat anytime, even if I'm right. I don't give a shit.
but the thing is
I
that
don't give a shit. Again, like I
I,
said, it's my opinion.
yeah,
I'm not saying I'm right. I
um,
don't have a script. I don't have anything to prove. It's just I'm just looking at different scenarios of the way it is, the way stories are, the way HBO does their stories, the way they're changing things up from the game to the show. You know, I know, and that's why a lot of people like to do like what's the word called? Montage.
A montage.
Yeah, to where okay, we'll kill Joel this way, but with this damn dead body, we'll do it like in the game. And it's like it's a montage to the game. I'm just thinking different scenarios of what can happen in second season, or third season, whatever. But I just feel with this story being, I feel that with this show being how the first season was so damn good that they want to continue. Spoiler, it was
Spoiler.
Glenn.
It was Glenn. So,
Yes, it was. I
yeah.
just feel that they don't want to just end it with two seasons, that they would just want to have a third and final season in there.
What I'm hoping is they do it like they did the first season, justice. Do it justice like you did the
Thank you,
part one.
Katie.
So yeah. So was it?
Thank you. She's on my side.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah,
I'll eat
yeah,
two hats, just the one for me and one for Katie if I'm wrong.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's hope. Um,
Let's hope.
um, uh, I just think JJ. I think I think Neil Druckmann will do it justice like he did part one. So I
I
think
disagree with you there. I disagree with you there. No,
so.
just kidding.
So
I'm not
I like
liking
I,
Daryl
I
Dixon.
like I like Daryl Dixon myself too. Uh, I'm not liking Daryl Dixon. I'm not yeah, I didn't read that right.
Um, I,
Mm,
uh, you know
Um,
what, Linda? Um, I'm not for or against Daryl. It's just reading the comic book. He was never in the book. He's just a new character, he just became a fan favorite, and that's why they made his own show.
yeah,
And
yeah,
a lot of people honestly thought, Linda, that he was gonna go into the comic. They're like, okay, kind of like how Harley Quinn. Her first appearance was in the animated series of the Batman cartoon in the
yeah,
90s. She
yeah.
wasn't. She didn't come out in no comic book or anything. Eventually, they went from here to here. Another character that as was actually made, um, that was what she. What did Katie say? But I really like Pete's way of like telling, telling the that's true. And then with a kiss. Another character, Linda, was John Diggle from Arrow. He was not a character from the comic books, and then they added him to the comic books, but they never did that with Daryl. It was weird, but I mean, I agree. I kind of agree with you, and I just
I well,
I don't really care for
I,
Daryl. Like I'm just like,
I,
it's just another
I'm gonna have
character.
to, yeah. Well, I like the Daryl Dixon one. I'm afraid. I did have. I gotta say, I did have vibes of The Last of Us a wee bit.
Did it?
Uh,
Okay, I'm
uh,
gonna check it out then. Just because it's
um,
his story arc, it has
it
nothing
was
to do with
told
the
in Europe.
original arc.
It was told in Europe, JJ. So I think it's got a different tone about it.
Hmm.
Right? It's told somewhere in France and Europe as well. So
France.
it's
That's what I heard.
beautifully told. It's got a great light as well to the story, right? So
So then that means there's three different spin-offs now, The Walking
yeah,
Dead, because you have
you've
the
got
Daryl Dixon, you
Negan, yeah. So
Negan and Maggie, and then you have
yeah,
now
yeah. Oops,
Michonne and Rick.
yeah.
Oh, and then not to forget Fear of the
Oh,
Walking Dead hadn't
yeah.
I don't think had ended yet or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. So
I don't know. They
um,
went all they went off everywhere and you know
I've got to admit, JJ, I mean, there's too many spin-off shows. It's just a little bit ridiculous to me. So, um,
they know that they're still having their ratings with some people,
yeah, yeah.
you know.
Uh,
But
um,
again, the different I guess you can say the difference between Walking Dead and Last of Us is that Walking Dead already had a long they had what about a 7 year span of making things because
Linda, you're always unsubscribing to everybody who's wrong.
um The Walking Dead had like a 7-year span to
Yeah,
actually
but
do
good. So,
TV shows when um when did Last of Us come out? Because it wasn't a lot of time, I don't think.
or was it was it um was it before COVID or was it after COVID? I'm not too certain.
I think it was after, but I'm not sure. But I mean, of course, that's a game, and then this one's a comic. But I
Mm.
mean, it ended both ended differently. Um, Spoiler alert: in the issue 193 is the Omega for Walking Dead. It's the last final issue, which we all thought it was going to be 200, and all you see is how Rick got killed, which was pretty stupid. Then all you see at the very end is a grown up Carl with his own kid and talking about the how his grandfather was a hero to this world. And that's that. And you know, it was just plain out stupid. And then now that you had Carl gone and Rick gone, it just didn't make no sense for Walking Dead anymore. Because and this is what I'm trying to say is that The Walking Dead, the comic, was the story of Rick Grimes, of how he was in this apocalyptic, waking up from the apocalyptic world, just like season one, which had happened just like in the book, and how he adapted to taking care of all the people around him and fighting enemies and doing things, compared to the Walking Dead show, to where it's almost the same thing, but then you have different scenarios where you see Governor's storyline, and all these characters' lives change, and it just becomes very different. And that's one of the things that I think pushed a lot of people away. Now, I haven't seen Dead City. I didn't even get to finish watching all of Walking Dead. I think I finished in season 9. Because after when
Yeah.
Rick left, I was just like, well, there's no point of the show, because it was the reason for Walking Dead is because of Rick Grimes, until he's dead. And that's the reason why the final issue is the final issue, because Rick Grimes is dead.
Yeah, and they changed it, and now they've got a spin-off show with Rick Grimes, the ones who survived, or something like that, or that's the tagline
Some
anyway.
Something like that. But is that supposed to be a show or a movie?
No, it's a show, so it's on now
Because
at the moment.
didn't they say they were gonna make like a 3-part movie about it?
It could be a miniseries. Could be a miniseries more than that.
A
So,
TV made for movie, or a movie made for
yeah,
TV, or whatever.
who knows? Who knows? But it's just like it's the ones who survived, and you got Rick Grimes and his lady friend who escaped. I think so. Um, Show. There we go. It's a show. So,
I don't know, but I just hope that they don't do that with Last of Us again. I
yeah.
think it's good enough to squeeze 3 seasons and that's it.
Oh yeah,
Unless
don't.
they make another game, and then okay, then
Yeah.
we got to continue it on. But
Well, yeah, because we're actually in discussions to do Last of Us 3. Yay! Can't look for that. Um, yeah. So yeah, I agree with
so
you. I agree with the JJ. Don't go any further than season 3, for God's sake. It's just stop it.
you start ruining it when you want to start making more and more and more, just like Walking Dead happened.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, Walking Dead was the same crap hole. They meet people, they get together, they find a place that is a sanctuary, it gets knocked down, they all run away in separate ways, they have to find each other. They do. They found another sanctuary, they defend it, it goes down, and it's just over and over. And then every sanctuary they lose someone.
Uh,
Just
yeah.
you know, forget it.
Regurgitating for the sake of regurgitating is probably why. So, um,
You're
uh,
probably right on that,
yeah.
but
Yeah. Anyway,
I don't know.
Jojo, do you wanna let's move on to a different tact for a bit and discuss what you want to discuss. What
Sure.
your
So our next topic that we'd like to talk about in the
am
next
I doing with
show,
my
which
hands? I
we can give it
don't
a little teaser today, is you ready for this? I
know.
hope it's a good
Whatever.
topic for you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen this movie, but I think this is the longest we've seen a sequel come out. 36 years in the making, and we have some original characters from the first movie coming back. And it's the sequel Beetlejuice Beetlejuice.
Yeah. All right. Yes.
And
Yeah.
the teaser trailer came out and it looks amazing. Having Michael Keaton back as Beetlejuice. Of course, you have Winona Ryder as Lydia Deeds back. Then you
Gorgeous,
have the new
gorgeous, gorgeous Ortega, Jenna
Jenna
Ortega.
Ortega is going to be coming out in this one as one of the new leading characters.
Gorgeous.
Of course, we don't have, from what we've seen, we don't have no Gina Davis or Alec Baldwin. So, see, even Katie says I couldn't get into it after Rick left. Yep. And so, yeah, the discussion is how do we think this is going to turn out to be, since it's been 36 years in the making? Um, will it pull off great? Will it be a dud? Um, Seeing movies from the past that have taken this long to make a sequel have not always worked out. There's been like maybe two or three that I know. One is I know it took about what 6-7 years for Terminator 2 to come out, and that actually they pulled it off great. Another one would be not it didn't do so good in the box office, but people liked it, was Zombieland, the movie, which they based it off kind of like if it happened in real life. And of course, just recently that people are loving the sequel more than the original is Top Gun Maverick. So can we actually see Beetlejuice be the next sequel that hasn't been out in years to be better than the first one? So let's
Well,
stay tuned to that.
I can speak. I can speak. No, well, I'm not going to speak to it, but there was an interview with Michael Keaton. Oh,
Hey,
okay,
Scott
Scott.
Crusher.
Hi, mate. How are you? How are you? G'day, mate. No, just kidding. I mean, um, there was a interview with Michael Keaton, and that question came up. Um, not kind of not the question, but a question came up through Michael Keaton, right? And about scripts and not having the right script or having the right storyline, right? So
Okay.
regarding and what you're kind of saying, right, to that.
Hmm.
And his, I'm going to paraphrase his sorry, Scott, that was really fast. What was it? Doing well, thanks, mate. Hope you guys are well. Yes, yeah.
And then Linda says they're doing a Mad Max Furiosa. So that's a spin-off, Linda.
But in regards to this interview, Michael Keaton says that, well, they couldn't really come to find a story that they were comfortable with, right? And they were talking about a storyline to the second sequel when they were doing Beetlejuice, the first one, right?
Okay.
Tim and Michael Keaton, right? This is
Well,
way back
we'll get
decades before,
yeah.
right? And then here's Michael Keaton talking about how they didn't want to take storylines that didn't work or scripts that didn't work. It wasn't the right timing to actually do a story now because they went off and did other things, right? So they came
Yeah.
back, okay. And then I think they sat. They might have actually communicated and said, "Look, yeah, no, yeah, that doesn't really work well." Okay, and then I think they sat down and they said, "Look, yeah, they had a storyline in mind, but Michael Keaton was saying to Tim Burton, saying, no, that scene doesn't work, right?" And
Hmm.
then they did a scene for the Beetlejuice, and or something or rather along that lines. And Michael said when he saw the scene complete, he said, "Oh, yeah, that really works." So they must have actually come to a storyline which they were happy with, right? And then
Yeah.
and now you have Beetlejuice. So I think Okay, Rolando. Sorry, Katie.
Hey, Rolando, how you doing?
Well, I'll have to check out the Beetlejuice trailer, but it will be hard to make as a. Well, yeah, it's like I think it'll be really funny. It's got a great cast. It's yeah. Michael Keaton said in the interview that Catherine O'Hara uh, is way more funnier than she was in the first one, right? So, uh, and that really bodes well. And having Winona Ryder back into it, yes, we won't see Gina Davis or Alec Baldwin in it because their past they've gone on, right? So it's a whole new set of characters. It's lovely, gorgeous, Ortega. Oh, um, who can say no to that? I wouldn't,
Mm.
but that's just me. It's, but yeah, that's my take on it. And Michael Keaton's, yeah. Anyway,
Okay, so I'm not going to discuss much about it because I want to
yeah,
discuss this in the next
yeah,
show, because
yeah.
that's not the only movie that I want to discuss about. The other one that has had a history and had started back in the 70s, we're looking also that there's been a teaser trailer for Alien Romulus.
Oh yes, I've seen
We'll
that.
go into that too to see how that goes and ties
Yeah,
into everything with Prometheus and Alien Covenant. But that'll be in the next discussion. Now, the only
yeah,
thing I'm going to say is, um, I see what you're saying with what Michael Keaton says, but also remember, this is also the Michael Keaton that talked highly about the Flash. That's all I'm saying.
yeah. Well, he's meant to do that because he's in the movie. He was the best thing.
Exactly the same thing. It might be the same thing with Beetlejuice. He's going to say a few things
Well,
to maybe keep people in suspense. I mean, I don't know. I mean, who knows?
death,
But we'll
JJ.
find out.
Death to JJ on that. So that's right.
That's all
Okay.
right. Kill me now. Kill me
um,
now. Forever hold your peace.
it's good to see you guys, Scott. Orlando here. It's fantastic. Yeah, fantastic. So, yeah. Well, we can discuss that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be, I think. Shit, hopefully, it'll do better than bloody movies that come out with. I mean, Madam Madam Web or so it's going to be better than that.
Uh,
I'm quite looking forward to
look,
the new Aliens film because it does, yes, it connects to I don't think it'll have Ripley in it. I might mention Ripley, but
nah,
we have Ripley in it. But so
no. We'll find out about that. I mean, I know it's the director from the new Evil Dead, and
uh, mm.
so
um,
so
mm.
that'll be great. And then if not, we can always talk about discussion, and we can always add in other discussions. Another good example, which right now is a number one hit. Um, a number one hit show in many or not in many channels, but in many subscriptions. Quiet on Set. Quiet on Set is a documentary that talks about the producer and about the things that were going on in Nickelodeon back in the 90s and early 90s and 2000s, early 2000s, with some of these kids that were pretty much damaged and
Where is that?
still
Was
are.
it on streaming service or on
It's
a
on
stream?
Max. It's on Max. It's on
Oh,
Discovery Plus, Discovery Go. It's on Investigation Discovery Go. It's on Amazon Prime. It's on Hulu. It's on YouTube TV. It's on a YouTube channel when you have a subscription. So yeah, there's many.
okay. Because I've got to watch that if we're discussing it because we're kind of blind.
No, I
I'll
mean we don't have to do it that now. We can do it later because it is stuff that we talk about that gets involved with the things that go on, and it is sad, to see that happen. But that'll be another discussion. But right now, let's focus on all these other ones that we're talking about, like Beetlejuice, and Alien Romulus, which both are very popular movies, uh, popular franchises, I guess you can say, because they also made the cartoon for Beetlejuice, and
yeah.
Both are
Mm,
fan favorites. Both Alien and Beetlejuice are fan favorites, and I think those are very good topics that we could lead into the next show. Just because they haven't been out for a while,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
especially Beetlejuice. I mean, that's it's and
yeah.
to see Michael Keaton back as Beetlejuice, that's amazing.
The juice is loose.
The juice is loose. Yeah.
Mm. Uh, what do you say? I saw Madam Web. I think it was made for tween teenage girls.
Teenage girls.
Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it's too early to tell. You're right, Jojo. It's too early to tell because there are only teaser trailers or trailers, and
Hmm.
they haven't really been. I guess some you know channel will probably analyze the trailers to death. I think they already have. But I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind actually watching watching the film or getting some more info, good info on it, uh, to actually discuss it more, or just watch the bloody film actually. So,
Yeah, because we got to see
you know,
why he's still around. I mean,
so
of course, he was still alive even at the end of the show. I mean, you saw him in the afterworld, getting his head shrunk, which I like to know how he got his head back to normal.
yeah.
But you know, it's just
Um,
it was a very good. One of the things I can just say is that it could be pulled off very well since it's still Tim Burton. Tim Burton still makes movies and making TV shows that are like just the same as any other movie that he does, and they've come out great. I mean, a good example is Wednesday. I didn't think I was
mm,
gonna like Wednesday, and it
yeah.
was a great. And then Jenna has already worked with Tim Burton before on because
Mm.
of that show, so I think it'll do good.
Well, I'm a big fan of Tim Burton's. Always have been, really. You know, his work with Johnny Depp as well on films
Hmm.
as well. You know, his quirkiness with also with Batman and Batman Returns. You know, it's. Uh, I will. If they keep the tone right, I got to say, if they keep the tone in comedy and Beetlejuice, I think it will work. Right,
Hmm.
with the teaser trailer to me when I first looked at it was going, oh god, I hope it's not really dark. Right, so um,
I mean, it's gonna be certain things that'll be dark, but I don't think it'll be that dark.
I love to live action series, a series of
She'd love
alien.
a live action series of aliens where they follow a squad of Marines like the series Tour of Duty. I think that would be great. I honestly feel that I think except for I mean, I know that they did a great storyline with Prey, which finally they went back to the past and they did something great. But I feel that Predator and Alien they're they're so out there already that people know who they are that they should be in TV shows now. You know, um, because both have changed dramatically to where Alien used to be a horror movie back in the 70s, and now when James Cameron brought the sequel, it became an action movie. And it was almost the same thing with Predator, but Predator was more of a horror action movie, and then Predator 2 became more of an action movie, you know? And so every time they make new ones, it's kind of like people are like, eh. And really, I didn't really care for any of well, mostly the second one was crappy, but I rather see an Alien versus Predator TV show. Gives them more time. You get episodes. I mean, it'll be longer than a movie, and I think that would work out. But again,
Mm, mm,
again,
mm.
who knows?
Mm, um, yeah, yeah. I think I think they should just. yeah. I just think they should stick to movies. I think. Anyway, that's my opinion. And I'm sticking to it. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, just kidding.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and Jimmy Jims around the rims, which you're not, but it's a good phrase. I am gonna call it there. Last drinks, I think. JJ, I'm sorry to say. Oh, so
Last drinks?
yeah,
Did
last
I hear
drinks.
drinks?
Closing time. So
Closing
yeah.
time. No, I'm just kidding.
So love to have you. Love all you guys being here. Nice to meet you, Katie. I think you know.
Yeah, no, it's great to meet you, Katie. I hope you come and join us sometimes. Actually, we started a little later. It was at 11:30 when we would normally. Well, it was like an hour later because it my time it would be 10:30, but it was at 11:30, and I was actually, guys, I was waiting since 10:30 on here.
Yeah, rub it in. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it
So
was kind of funny because I'm like, what happened? And then I'm over here like a dork, not thinking that I can look at my phone to see what time it was. And it actually was till 11:30, and I'm like, well, shoot, I'll just wait.
yeah, no, I came in and saw JJ there sitting waiting.
I was just
Um,
excited to come back so
yeah,
we can do this because it was something great that we were going to talk about. We were talking about Last of Us,
so
and it's been the
we
first.
can revisit it. We can revisit it as well when it comes in. So so we will revisit everything really what we'll talk about because we've got to watch the damn things when they come
Hmm.
out. So,
Which also, before we go, have you seen the trailer to House of Dragon?
no, I haven't. No, I haven't. No.
Okay, there's a black trailer and a green trailer. You can watch them and then see what you think your opinion is on it.
I haven't, JJ, I haven't really started to watch the first season yet. So,
Oh
uh,
yeah, that's right. Because you're just finishing up. You're just barely finishing up, or almost close
yeah,
to finishing.
uh,
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. So, um, which which I thought was really well told, and then it kind of fell down a wee bit with me, Game of Thrones. But I'm still watching the damn thing because when I
You
watched
know,
it,
you know, you know why it kind of just went. It's because he never finished the next book. He hadn't even like it's the Winds of Winter, and he never complete like he hadn't finished it, or I don't even know if he still has finished it. So
I don't think
I guess
yes, I don't think yes.
so. He
Uh,
ended up focusing more on the story and on the live action than more on the book.
mm.
So it kind of that's where it went kind of south.
Yeah, that's the not. Sorry to say this, JJ, or JJ Martin guy. It's kind of not a mark of a good author. Finish your bloody books before you do anything. So,
Yeah, exactly.
um, so
Katie says, "Awesome, thank you guys. I am glad I found your channel." No, thank you for being here. Thank you for finding
yeah,
us. This is what we do
yeah,
almost every week or every 2 weeks. We do go on a hiatus sometimes, but
yeah.
we see Linda all the time come back. We see T3. We see Rolando. A few others do come in. I think it was just a little late than ever, but still, PG and I talk about these things. I think this is the first time in a long time. No, I think this would be the first time that it was a major disagreement with a lot of things that I said that PG didn't agree with, and then he tries to kick me out.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's okay. I still love him.
That's my, that's my comedy.
But
That's how I see it. That's my brain works. It's comedy.
but
We
then
don't
again,
take it.
that's then
So,
again, Katie, that's what this is all about. It's about it's not always about green things. It's just understanding our opinions and seeing what could happen, what could not happen, seeing it in different scenarios of what if actors get tired and then they are like, okay, I'm done here, to kill me off, or looking at it as a scenario as okay, well this because honestly, like I said, Last of Us felt like it was made for people who have never played the game, and that's okay. As long as they make great stories, and that's what PGM and I have always discussed about with movies and TV shows. Just make great stories. We don't care.
oh, yeah.
Honestly, that one episode with Bill and Frank, I didn't even care that they were homosexuals. I didn't care that they were gay. I just love the fact that they made a
Yeah,
great episode, a great
yeah,
story out of it. That's all I cared
absolutely.
about.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
It didn't
Yeah.
even bother me at all. But there's other times where they try to throw in the homosexuality in there, or
Mm.
the women's power, that or men are weak, or and we don't. I don't give a shit about that. If you're gonna make, there's always been women with power. I mean, we've seen it with Aliens, with Ripley. We've seen it with Sarah Connor. You know, those are two good examples. We've seen it with Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween. If you think about it, a lot of the horror movies, the strongest person, the strongest character is a female. So, yeah,
Um,
all I gotta say.
it's yeah. I mean, through the mainly actually through the 70s and 80s and even 90s, there were a lot of femme fatales. They used call them. Well, not used to
Yeah,
call them.
Fan Fatales. Thank you.
You've got Pam Grier as well in that mix as well. Very tough women and very good role models for the black women actresses out there as well. So you've got again, yeah, you've got the icons like Lara Croft with Angelina Jolie coming into to the play with
Hmm.
the archaeological kind of sense to it. Uh, you've got a lot of femme fatales who are strong women, but yeah, yeah. Going back to JJ's, yeah, you know, take on everyone's take on Frank and Bill's kind of storyline. Yes, it wasn't forced in at you. It wasn't force fed, them being homosexual. Was just a beautiful story involving two guys in love, really, and it was told beautifully in that kind of world of death and people being alone, right, or dying, or people dying on you because of what was going on. So it was told beautifully. It was in the great surroundings. It was, and it had again, yes, it dealt with suicidal tendencies as well, because that I mean, in the outcome of that
Damn,
of that,
how did the cowboy come out of you right now?
huh?
You had the cowboy come out of you right now. You're like suicidal tendency. I'm like, whoa, where did the cowboy come
Really?
out of you right
Oh,
now? Yeah.
really? I didn't realize that.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I heard a little cowboy in there. I was like, wow, okay.
Sorry, this I didn't realize. Um, uh, but it dealt with that. Sorry to actually say that on YouTube. I'll probably get pinged for that, saying that word on YouTube.
The
Uh,
what word?
the S word, which I've just
Oh,
actually mentioned. So yeah,
yeah.
sorry.
I was just the S word. That's what I'm trying to hear. Like, I got you.
Hopefully I don't get pinged for saying that. But what I'm saying is that be it as that may, it just had a very a romantic,
Hey, keep on collecting.
romanticized kind of feeling to it instead of a shockingness to it, right? Uh, Bill wanted to die with Frank, so and that's the whole point. He wanted to live life with Frank, right? So, and he died with Frank, and that's I thought it was beautiful actually. So anyway, sorry, Katie, what was yeah, I
Yeah, I
like
like hearing about it and all that.
yeah,
Yes, I love strong women characters. Yeah, and we've had a lot of them, and there's nothing, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. I love when there's a woman character that's strong when they put her into the story. That's what I'm trying to say, Katie, is that when you make a good story, it brings out that woman character out more. Like I tell you, like the Terminator, like the Sarah Connor, like the Ripley. You know, she was already a badass in Alien 1, but she became even more of a badass in Alien 2 without even trying,
Mm.
without throwing it out there. And in some movies, when you throw out the strong women character and not make a story for them, it weakens the character. And it weakens any character whether they're male or female. So that's what, you know, why we are all about storylines. We don't care about if you want to add a character who's, homosexual or black or whatever. We don't care about that. What we care is how you adapt that character for the great story that is going to make that character great. That's all I'm saying. So I hope you don't take it the wrong way. We're never against women or any kind of
No.
we've
Yeah.
never been against any, you
Yeah.
know, you know, the homosexuality or against any of that. I mean, the one I'll tell you one thing with that story about Bill and Frank, people in the chat, and also to PG. I felt like I mean, yeah, you had your people that were gonna have, like they say, it's gonna be a controversy or whatever, but it wasn't as big as a controversy like everybody thought it would be, because people saw more of the story than more of what happened, because like we said, they didn't throw it out there. And honestly, I felt like that this episode redeemed Brokeback Mountain, when Brokeback Mountain got a lot of criticism and people forgot. It's not a gay movie, it's a movie about how two men got together and fell in love with each other. So it was supposed to be more of a love story, but people didn't see it that way at the time. So in a certain way, I felt like this episode kind of redeemed that movie in a certain way. Even though I know it's totally different things, but one of them, I mean, both try to focus on the storyline, but one of them got hit really hard at the time, and this one didn't. I mean, it still got hit hard, but it didn't get hit hard as much because it's been more accepted, because people followed the story. They saw a great story in it.
Yeah. It did, and it was a great story, and it worked in the context of
Hmm.
the show. It really worked. So um, everybody's saying hello. Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm fine. Fine, Matt. Yeah, I'm
They're
fine.
doing
We're
good,
doing.
KOC. It's great to see you. I was thinking about you. I was wondering where you were at. You and
Oh,
we
mm,
didn't even get to see pop. What is it? Popping with pop culture, or pop culture with pop, or
um,
whatever.
yeah, yeah,
POP.
yeah. Yeah, that's her handle. Yeah. What?
She says that's
Yep.
so true.
Yeah. I'm struggling with the bloody yeah. Um. Yeah, it's Linda. Yes, we know. Mandalose. Kinky cow. Sorry. um. Uh,
Mandola. Mandola.
well, who do you think it is, Matt? You think it's? Yeah. Well, she just said it's Linda. Yeah.
That's funny.
Hey, Paul. Did I just click on Paul? Oh, what happened there? Oh, JJ's gone. We're still on, JJ. Where are you going? Hey, Paul. Paul? I can't even see what the heck is happening here. Can I read this? I just got home. Well, that's really weird. Not showing up. It's showing up here, but. Oh, What happened there, JJ? What happened there?
Yeah, man. I know you don't agree with me and things, but you don't. No, I don't. I don't know. That was weird. No, guys, they didn't kick me out. He didn't kick me out. And actually, Paul, how you doing? Yeah, I hadn't seen you in forever either, Paul. Good seeing you, man. Are you guys? Paul, I was just gonna. I was wondering, were you doing a show on? Have you been doing your own show or like critiquing about Bad Batch final season? Let me know so I can jump. Like, well, not jump in there, but just be in the chat and give support and hear your opinions on that. Uh, Paul's Collectible would always be doing on his show the Star Wars series
Yeah,
with
no,
Bad
yeah.
Batch and Book of Boba
I
Fett.
don't.
So
I don't watch
it's
it
great to see
anymore.
that.
I don't watch it anymore, JJ, because Paul thinks Usual Mike's more famous than I am, which is just a shame, really. So yeah, so yeah, yeah. How you like them apples, Paul? Hey.
That is bad. You guys are bad.
So, anyway, g'day, Paul. Yeah. No, I didn't dump JJ. JJ pressed the wrong button, probably.
No, I don't know what happened. I didn't even press anything. I was just over here like cleaning, and then I just see it get kicked off, and I'm like, I didn't touch nothing. What
I
the
didn't
hell
touch
happened here?
anything either. I didn't touch anything. So don't come
Sure.
on here and abuse me, Paul, on our channel.
Paul is
You
on
go.
my side, and he
Um,
knows you
um,
kicked me out because you disagree with me on
um,
a lot of things. They're like,
um,
sayonara, baby. That's what you were
yeah.
doing.
Well, I hope you buy that crappy helmet of Hasbro, Paul. That'll show you. So,
You know why, Linda? It's because Paul was. It's actually I shared this to my live or to my channel or
yeah,
my
yeah.
whatever, so it actually
Uh,
sees where it's connected with us. That's why you probably can't see
yeah, I couldn't see it
his.
either. I was having connection with it.
Okay.
I can see it, but I can't see it on one of my other ones. It was really weird. So anyway, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Everybody's welcome here, maybe except for Paul. No, just kidding.
No, you're accepted, Paul. Don't worry.
Yes, we are. We're double streaming. Yes. Yeah.
There you
So
go.
yeah.
Double streaming. I only
Sorry,
see my comment.
really,
Yeah,
it's
that's
really weird. Double streaming. It's really weird.
double
Yeah.
streaming. Are you guys double streaming? Yes, we are
Mm,
double
mm,
streaming.
mm. I only see my comments. Oh,
Yeah, because
that. Yes.
he's probably the only one on on my channel.
So,
Hey, Paul, I
um,
got a helmet right here that was made by a guy by Millennium Workshop. I don't know if you know who he is, but he made me this helmet.
oh wow, yeah,
Captain
awesome,
Enoch.
yeah.
Oh, and of
Oh,
course I bought this one off of him. Paul. The Merrick from Ahsoka. Well, both are from Ahsoka if you think about it. So
that's cool.
yeah, I know because Paul gets a lot of helmets, so just wanted to show those. And this is my favorite helmet that Millennium Workshop made.
I do.
Yes, thank you. Cool. Awesome.
I
Yeah, he does
do.
some great work. Look, he even made me
I
these.
do.
These are not helmets, but they're like where I can actually. They have the strap in the back, and then I can put the hood. So here's Revan, and then here's Darth Nihilus. So these were the first ones he made me, and then I wanted some helmets. So, yep. Forget Hasbro. Forget Hasbro. I'll just go with Millennium Workshop to do my helmets. Carry on, carry
Right.
on.
I do nice. You speak good. You speak good, Paul. You speak good.
I am Groot.
Masks.
Yeah, masks.
Me make fire. Me make good fire. Me make fire.
Me make poo poo. Me make poo poo.
Right. we're making. I can't say that. It doesn't make sense. Um, we're out of here. So, Paul, you can talk to yourself all you want on our channel because we're making like a tree. Is it making like
Make like a tree and leave.
that's the one? See,
Yeah, you're going all Biff on us. That's what you're doing. You were
yeah.
about to say, make like a tree and get out of here. That's what you were about to say.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh god. Okay, guys, girls, and everything in between. Um. Oh, am I late? Yes, you are.
Nah, don't
So
worry, Paul. I know that you were in Vader's Girls live stream. So
um.
you're not late at all. Don't worry, buddy. It's
Anyway,
just great to see you.
yeah, it's great to see you. Of course, it's great to see you, Paul.
I hadn't seen you in a minute, so it's
Um,
awesome to get to see
um,
people. So I'm glad. Catch y'all.
yes,
Enjoy the
yes.
weekend. You too, Scott.
Yeah. Everyone enjoy their weekends. And I'm gonna make an announcement now. I think because next week's going to be Easter, so I think uh, so. I think we see you in a fortnight's time. Take a break for Easter, for family time because it's Easter weekend. So if that's all right with you, JJ, I'm just asking. So yeah.
I ain't got nothing to do on Good Friday.
But who knows? We might be back. I don't know.
I'm just saying I don't have nothing to do on Good Friday. I mean,
um,
if you want to
uh,
take the day off, you're more than welcome to. If you do, then I guess I will. But if you don't want to, and you want to continue the shindig, I'm not getting paid for this holiday. So hey,
yeah, all right.
I enjoy this so much. So I don't mind if we go at it for Easter. But if you like to
Who
take the
knows?
day off,
Who knows? My head, JJ, at the moment, it's up in the air at the moment. So it's right. So,
it's up in
um,
the air. Okay,
so like a
sounds good.
all right, guys. I'm calling it a night. Uh, saying all for all you people out there and streaming land, you can't make somebody laugh or smile. Well, I can't help you with that, can I? So until next until next week.
Paul
So uh, what's it?
says I had no idea you two hooked up.
Um, well, we did. So yeah. Anyway, um, so it's goodbye from me, P.G.M.
And it's good morning from me since it's already past midnight. It's 1 o'clock here at my time, Central Time, of course.
And I will say, take care, have fun, and do whatever you want to do.
And I will say, see you in the next Nerd Talk. Hopefully, it'll be this coming weekend on Easter. If not, another time. Hopefully, we'll get it back to the regular time that we had it, which was 4:30 your time.
Yeah, 4:30.
Well, you
Yeah,
did it 5:30 this time, right? Okay, so maybe 4:30,
yeah,
10:30 my time. So
yeah.
I won't be here waiting for a whole hour until he shows up. I'm kidding, brother. But you
What can you
guys
do?
have a good night.
All right, laters.